couple of my early progressions with core training, I look at intrinsic stability first and foremost. The first two exercises we're going to do, one is called a dead bug, the other one is a bird dog. Setting up in the dead bug position, the athlete is flat on the ground. I want the athlete to think about low back flat to the ground, so they may actually have to posteriorly tilt the pelvis a little bit to get to that position. Once they get low back flat to the ground, I want them to think about drawing the navel in towards the spine. From that position here, I cue the athlete to begin an alternating leg lift pattern without losing position of the navel toward the spine or the low back flat to the ground. As he transitions, that's the most important part, to make sure that you don't see a shift in the pelvis, that he's maintaining position all the way through the exercise. As the athlete goes through this progression without problems, I will then take it to both legs up into the 90-degree position and then slowly lower one leg as he maintains low back flat to the floor, drawing the navel in toward the spine. Time on this drill varies based on the competency of the athlete. As the athlete holds position, the sets can start from 30 seconds and run up to about 60 seconds in repetition. For the third progression, we're going to take the legs up to a 90-degree angled position. From here, the athlete brings the arms straight up, and we'll move in a contralateral pattern. Opposite arm, opposite leg. As the athlete does this, they maintain low back flat to the ground, drawing the navel in toward the spine. As the athlete does this, you may see athletes that have tight hip flexors, and then as they extend toward the floor, they'll go into an hyperlordotic position. If they tend to go into that position, stop them from extending the leg fully to the ground and make sure they maintain low back flat to the ground. That is the priority. Time. The second exercise is the bird dog. The athlete now gets set up into a quadruped position. I want the wrist, elbow, and shoulders stacked, back flat, pelvis slightly tilted. I want to avoid going into a lordotic position. I want to make sure as we start that the lumbo-pelvic complex is more flat and no arch to it. From here, the athlete is going to go into a contralateral pattern again, thinking about drawing the navel toward the spine once again. But the beauty of this exercise is the timing that he moves the right arm and the left leg. It has to be at the same time to ensure the stability that we want, or the timing of stability. Go ahead. Slow and deliberate. As the athlete goes back into the extended position, you want to watch for a hyperlordotic position. That's why the setup position was priority before we started. As the athlete extends back, they're squeezing the quad and the glute simultaneously. If the athlete doesn't have adequate range of motion in the glenohumeral joint, avoid forcing them to reach and overextend, because they will compromise lumbar position to get that arm higher. After the athlete finishes 5 repetitions on the left side and the right side, he'll switch to the opposite contralateral side, left arm, right leg.